Oh. Are we live? Okay, where is my stuff? Okay. Hey everyone, we are getting started shortly here. Coming back to you. I'm really excited to get this back. Few minutes here, we're still getting started. We got a lot to talk about since the last episode, so I'm just getting things started here. Gotta stretch my brain again on how to do all this stuff, so I'm excited to be back though. So we will start in a couple of minutes here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of the Portal Hunter Club. I'm your host, Red Fox 1701. Oh boy, do we have a lot to cover today on the show. Uh, Feel free to join us in the chat. We got the chat going on YouTube right now. That'll be a fun time. So what I want to do with this episode is just kind of bring everyone back together and kind of talk about what's been going on since the last wow, it's been so long since an episode, and I kind of missed doing this, so I wanted to get back into it. Um, they always say just don't worry about it being perfect, just do it. So we're doing it. So welcome back, everyone, again. Um, let's talk about Ingress Prime, because Ingress Prime is going to be uh, becoming, I guess, well, Redacted is going away September 30th, and some people are upset, some people are happy, a lot of people in between. It seems like they're finally getting Prime. There was just an update announced today, actually. They're just getting Prime now to where it should be. In my opinion, let's get right out and say this. In my opinion, Prime should have been released. What we have today should have been released a year ago, but if Niantic didn't have the feedback that we've given them over the past year, I don't think they would have the product that they would have today. So that's kind of like an interesting little take that I have on this. I did try Prime during the last Anomaly. I was at the Madison Anomaly, and it was all right. I mean, there was a couple crashes here and there, but it seems like they're actually putting a lot of effort in trying to get this thing going to where it needs to be. Like I said again, there's I think 2 more updates left after this one, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the next couple weeks here, and with their next update. Again, they just announced an update today, so it'll probably take a while for that to go down to people's scanners and go from there. Don't forget, if you have a take on Prime, Redacted, or anything else coming up, feel free to hit it up in the chat, and we'll answer your questions. I'm monitoring the chat right now, so we'll see what people have to say. Does anyone have anything to say about Prime besides Prime sucks? Personally, I don't think Prime sucks. I think it's pretty much there to be equal with Redacted now. What I'm mostly excited for is the new features. I'm excited to see what kinds of things are starting to come. Like they added some stuff already, like the ticketing. If you want to go to one of the upcoming field tests, which is something we'll talk about in a few minutes, you have to register through Prime through their little event ticketing thing. And then one thing that was noticed today too was in-app support tickets. So if you have an issue with Ingress Prime, like a bug report, or an issue with another player, or some other support issue, you can actually go in the settings. Now, I don't know what version I have. I don't want to open up my phone right now. I don't know what version I have, but there is a in my version that I have, you can go to your settings, scroll down to Help Center. It's toward the bottom, and then if you click Go, it takes you to an FAQ page, and it lists a whole bunch of stuff. Then if you click, it's like Report Problem or something like that, then it will take you to a list of bugs and other issues that are already known. But there's a little messaging icon in the corner, and if you click on that messaging icon, it actually opens up a chat window with their chat bot, and you can send in the things. And I heard from someone else today that when they opened a support ticket through the website, it sent them a push notification to the app, and when they opened the app, it sent them right into the chat window. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on with Ingress Prime coming out soon. Yep. Like I said, we're doing this live. I want to get back into it. One of the reasons I'm trying to get back into this too is because there's some events coming up. We have the field tests. Niantic just announced, well, they just had last week a They had the live stream with Jarvis. That was really interesting to watch. We'll talk about some of that stuff. And we have the anomalies coming up on October 10th. Or, sorry, October 12th. Don't show up on the 10th to play. October 10, 12 is when the anomalies are. And that's going to be a lot of fun for folks going to those different cities. I was trying to get the cities in my little script here before I went, but I wanted to be on time. So we'll have to wing it when I come to that part. So again, if anyone has any hot takes they want to talk about with Prime, hit it up in the chat. We'll see if did I accidentally block the chat? Oh. Yeah, hit it up in the chat. We'll talk to people. We're going to get fully back into this in the next couple weeks here. We're going to be streaming on Mondays. Mondays is a good day, I think. Sunday mornings, I think we're tough for people. So Monday evenings, you're back to work, you're doing whatever, getting back into your routines. I think Monday's a good day to do some streaming. And we'll be doing streaming every week leading up to the October 12th anomalies. And then we'll have something big that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So let's talk about Ingress updates. There's been a lot of new things. I know we talked about the chat bot and we talked about what else did we talk about? Other stuff. They've changed around the graphics quite a bit since the release of Prime. I think they've kind of dumbed down the graphics slightly from what it used to be. It seems like people were clamoring for less battery usage, those kind of things. So it seems like the graphics were dumbed down slightly. Although this new update that they just announced, which I don't have yet unless I got it in the last couple minutes here, they did tweak some of the, like when you hack and the little things pop up on your screen. Supposedly they changed that now so it better reflects the rarity, I think, and the level of the item. I think before it just kind of showed just a generic pink and purpley thing that floated around. It looked like they added a one tap to hack, which I thought was cool. Like you hold down the button like you used to be able to, and you can hack. Those kinds of things. They're adding a lot of quality of life features, fixing some of the inventory navigation, that kind of stuff. So that's been some cool things added to Prime. Another thing that's coming up, let's move on to field tests. So field tests are coming on September 14th, which is this Saturday. And I don't know how many there are in total, but there's a ton of these cities. Excuse me. I'm getting used to this live broadcasting thing again. I kind of rushed into it tonight. So there's quite a few cities going with this field test. It looks like they're doing something called a hexathlon, where they're going to have 6 different games going on. Now remember, you have to register through the app in Prime to get your ticket. There is going to be a badge for this. I don't know if it's a tiered badge, but I think there's like 30 something cities. There's a lot of cities doing this, and all over the world too. There's American, APAC, and European cities. These field tests, it seems like it's going to be an interesting event. They wanted 2 people, or I guess 1 person from each faction to sign up your city, but some of these, they don't actually need them to do anything. They just wanted, I guess, maybe to scope out areas of town or something like POCs usually do. They wanted folks for that. But it looks like this field test is going to be more of a singular event where you're competing against yourself, like they said, hexathlon, where they're going to have 6 different games that you're going to play and kind of race against other agents. I know, actually, I lied. There is a tiered badge, and I think the tiers have to do with how well you place against other agents. So you got that going on. That'll be pretty cool. I am not going to be able to make one of those field tests, unfortunately, but if any of you folks want to, 45 cities. Okay. I think that's what they mean by 45. So, yeah, if any of you are going to field tests, let me know, and we'll take videos from people. The email is up there. Here, I haven't practiced my weatherman skills, or the phone number if you want to call, and leave a message and tell us what you thought of the field tests. That would be pretty cool too. We're definitely monitoring all that stuff again, so. And then later on, we're going to get the live calls and everything in like we used to have. That's always a lot of fun. So the field tests are going to be interesting. And I think, so it sounds like you're going to have to use Prime for this, or they want you to use Prime. I don't think Redacted won't be fully gone by then, but I think you'll have to use Prime. I know you have to use Prime to register. So the rumors that are out there in the different chats that I'm in think that this is sort of stress testing Prime to make sure it's usable. They may be stress testing certain features, and maybe there's new games. We don't know anything right now about. Well, we do know one thing. There'll be some sort of artifact collection, and this has to go back to a couple of things. So a while back, after the Chicago, Amsterdam, the Abaddon Prime series, after that, Niantic released a trailer for the Nemesis Cycle. So that was what was the name of that last cycle? Prime. I don't remember the name of that cycle, but this cycle is Nemesis. So all of these anomalies for the next year, I guess rolling year, summer through summer of next year, is going to be Nemesis. And that's this chapter or book of the storyline that's happening. And I think we will be on the second. This is the second set of anomalies happening in Nemesis in October, I believe. So we got that going on. They released this trailer, and the trailer had all the Prime. Osiris was the last cycle. Thank you. So this is the last was Osiris, and the Resistance won the Osiris cycle. Now it's the Nemesis cycle. Niantic released this trailer, so all the Prime sensitives, the new sensitives, are trapped in this box, essentially in this universe. And but they've discovered that they can use RPE, remote participation exercise, or I think that's what they use, the term they use, remote participation exercise technology, to interact with our universe during the anomalies. And you see the characters playing with chess pieces on this board, and they're popping in and out, and there's dramatic music and people kissing and people fighting, and it's this whole thing. So that's going to happen in Nemesis Cycle, but we don't know when exactly. So then there was the live broadcast with Devra, Devra Prime, the new one, and there was Jarvis with Martin Schubert, and then now that was just announced today, next week on the 16th, they're going to have 1218 Hank. Now 1218 is our universe. That's what they number the universes. So there's the Prime universe, which is where all the new characters are from, and then there's the 1218 universe, which is technically our universe. So old Hank is going to be on a live broadcast next week, and we'll see what happens then. But last week on the Jarvis broadcast, we had some interesting. Let me see if I can pull up these pictures here. So we have Helvetica. That character interrupted the Jarvis live stream to talk about not shards. Don't want to give anyone a panic attack. To talk about artifacts. So artifacts are going to be coming during the field tests, it appears. Some people started hacking media today. The media talks about the NIA needs your help. So there's two groups here. Well, there's a bunch of groups. So we have the prime sensitives, which are in the box universe. Then we have the Nemesis people, who are the people with the helmets making us do all these challenges. We had the Aurora challenge. There was another challenge. There's the hacking one, the glyph one, and now this one has to do with artifacts. So there's the prime or the Nemesis people, and then there's the NIA as it appears in the Ingress lore, which is the the nasty group that developed the scanner and everything. So the Nemesis people are doing something. Well, Helvetica specifically is doing something with artifacts, and in order to do that thing with the artifacts, Helvetica has to put the artifacts in our universe so that they can capture them and do something with them. And the NIA is saying, wait a minute, we don't want Helvetica to do what they want to do. We want you, agents, to capture the artifacts, and you need to capture 13,331 artifacts during the field tests. And if you're successful in that, then we agents have succeeded in defeating Helvetica. So that's sort of, I guess, maybe the third game in this thing with the Nemesis people. Now, it's my belief that there's 13 Nemesis people. Another thing that was, to talk about this, another thing that was talked about in the Nemesis broadcast was the board. Let me see if I can get that. Nope, not that button. Nope, not that button. What's my button to switch pictures? Okay, while I figure this out, so there was a board that was released. There's pictures. Sorry. Okay. All right. 1 second. A little technical difficulties. That's okay. Oops. Didn't want to do that. We're doing it live. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. Here's the board. So we have this RPE board. This appeared a couple times during the Nemesis or during the Jarvis broadcast. I have a theory, and don't take this as fact, but I have a theory that this thing is going to be used at some point during the anomalies, during some kind of game. Some kind of game is going to be happening where we use this board, and you can see there's I think 15 or so different rows. The columns go 0 to 13, I think. It's really tiny on my screen, so but I think this is going to be used in some sort of global game. And if we're looking at the board, you can see in the top left pictures of all the sensitives. So those are all the new Ingress Prime people that are in the box universe. And there's 13 of them. Then right below that, you can see there's like cutouts of, they look like mannequins, but the first two are actually the Nemesis people that we beat or that we have dealt with already, Aurora and the other one. The rest of them are just the mannequins, so we don't know who they are. Helvetica may appear in that third spot because they're the third person we've dealt with. And then right below that, you have 3 other pictures of the sensitives, and those are videos. If I'm correct, those are videos that we've seen through the scanner. So Stein Lightman just had a bunch of videos come out. You may have hacked those little shard media. Don't want to give anyone a panic attack. Little cutouts. I'll use a different term. And there were 6 or 7 or 8 of them. And when you combine them together, they make one full video that talks about the RPE exercise and how it's only going to be used during an anomalous period, which comes back to my theory that this is going to be some sort of global game or used somehow during the anomalies. Below that, on the bottom left, you have the different archetypes. So remember back when the characters had different types, like there was the listener, the trickster, the humanist, all those things. Those are the 13 archetypes down there. And those are the pictures from the forum. So that you have like characters and types of people there. Then in the top right, you have groups and companies. So you have like the NIA is there, Nemesis as an organization, Setai, the Jarvis's group that wants to kill the AIs. You have Nomad, which I think might represent the old Hank, but we're not sure yet. You have Hugh Long. You have all these different groups. Below that, you have media that we've hacked through the scanner, and like, Aurora's message to say, haha, I beat you, you didn't glyph enough things, those kind of things. And then at the bottom right, you have the death notices, quote unquote, and those are the media that we got that showed all the sensitives being killed and being sent to the box universe. That's going to be what it's called now. I mean, it makes the most sense. They're sort of in this thing. So my theory again is that this board is somehow going to be connected through the Nemesis cycle into some sort of global game. What was interesting, now I will bring up the word shards. The sensitive Schubert during the Jarvis broadcast said something like Nemesis. Well, first he said Nemesis has infiltrated Redacted. So they're not sure what they're going to have to do about that, which I'm assuming this is leading up to Redacted going away on September 30th. Then he mentioned that Nemesis has infiltrated the shards. And remember how shards work is when someone is a simulacrum, or they had that whatever spell, that Niantic made them NIA made them a simulacrum, and then they get sharded into the portal universe so they can appear back. That's how we brought back Jarvis originally and brought back other people. Nemesis has infiltrated the shards, meaning something with the shards may happen. We're not quite sure yet. I'm following as close as I can. There's that's the biggest hint so far, that there's going to be some sort of shard game, and it may be connected to the RPE board. We're not sure yet. So all of this is like slowly coming together. We're getting little pockets and kind of introductory pieces into the RPE. There may be and going back, I just realized something. Going back to the RPE board, the bottom row, I don't know what the bottom row is. If anyone knows what the bottom row is, let me know. So maybe that has something to do with what's coming in these shards that have been invaded. But I think the RPE board is the thing that the sensitives were talking about in the trailer, where they put the chess piece down and then they appear in our universe. But if they don't do something during the anomalies, then they're going to be stuck here, or they're going to die, or they're going to, it's going to be something like that, where we have to save the Nemesis. People are trying to, kill them by some means, and we're going to have to save the sensitives by doing some sort of global game with them. So all of that is just slowly coming together. There's little threads around that are, this web is starting to appear out of the fog. So we'll see as this goes what happens. So keep an eye out. Follow your various news outlets on Telegram and stuff like that. Follow the community. There's the Niantic community page, which is something that's new, that's there since we've done some broadcasts. So yeah, a lot's been going on, and let's see what else is coming up. So yeah, the Hank broadcast is coming up on September 16th. Make sure you're tuned into that, because some big stuff I think was alluded to during that Jarvis broadcast. You had the Helvetica thing, you had the RPE board. They kind of mentioned shards a little bit. These broadcasts are important to listen to, because even if you don't follow the storyline, a lot of stuff that affects the players who are playing the game is being talked about in these videos. So it's important. They're really coming back to connecting those two things. Those broadcasts are important to talk about and watch. So we'll be following up at the Monday after that broadcast, and we'll see what happens. And then to finish up tonight, the biggest thing that's coming up soon, and one thing I'm really, really excited for, is the Anomaly broadcast on October 12th. So we've kind of tested different types of Anomaly broadcasts. We did the one where I had the green screen back here, and I'm talking about what's happening in the different cities, talking about the scores and that kind of thing. So that kind of tested out the studio abilities that we have here. Then we did the Bake Anomaly broadcast, where we had an agent in the field doing reporting live in the field with agents. He was running around interviewing people. We had some videos. We had the scoring announcements live on air, that kind of thing. So that sort of tested out our live broadcasting capabilities from the field. So now what we want to do is bring this all together into one mega broadcast. We will be broadcasting the North American anomalies on the Portal Hunter Club live while they're happening. And this is huge, because it's something that's, we've done it before, but we've never done it to this scale. And I know a lot of people really liked watching the Anomaly broadcast, because when they were waking up and getting ready for the day for their anomalies, they could tune in, check out the scores, see what's happening, do that kind of thing. So this is going to be this is the big one. We're going to do the North American ones for sure. And we'll be broadcasting. We have folks in the studio here. I'll be the producer. We're going to have experts here in the studio to talk about the anomalies and to talk about what's happening with the scoring and that sort of thing. And then we will have reporters in the field at, right now, at least one of the two sites. And if you'd like to do the other one, let me know. I've been talking to some people. There's also the one in, I think, Guadalajara. So if someone has a lead on someone for Guadalajara, I'd love to include them too. But we're going to have reporters in the field. They're going to be doing interviews with folks. They're going to be chasing people around. We want to get the live view of what happens in an anomaly. So I'll have the green screen. We'll have the map. We'll have the scores going. We'll have experts in the studio to talk about the anomalies and what are happening there. We'll have reporters in the field talking to you agents who are there. It's going to be something that's never tried before, and I'm really excited to get this going. So yeah, I'm excited to have everyone on the October 12th for the Anomaly broadcast, and more details to come, obviously, and we'll be testing stuff as it happens. As always with live broadcasts, it can be interesting. So, but we're doing it. We're doing the big live Anomaly broadcast, and I'm excited to do that. So hopefully we'll see you back there, and we will see you back next week, Monday. We'll be talking about what happened at the field tests. So again, email, call in, talk to me. I want to hear about the field tests and what happened, what you thought of them, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thanks you all for joining, and we'll see you again next week on the Portal Hunter Club.